Hello, it's Tom Donald from the London Contemporary School of Piano. Today I'm going to show you how to compose in the style of Einaudi or other well-known contemporary piano composers. Quite often I find that students, they'll come to us at the school and they'll ask to learn neoclassical style pieces like Einaudi and other similar composers that tend to sound a lot like this. And there are hours and hours of piano music that has a very similar feeling and vibe to it, and a lot of people like to learn it and play it on the piano. And that really got me thinking, because whilst this music is very popular, it's also very formulaic, and there's a lot of really useful music theory that you can learn from it. And in fact, instead of just buying the score and learning the pieces, you would be very surprised how you could probably compose this music yourself. And I can show you how to compose this music yourself by learning a few simple steps of music theory and a few nice patterns. And this is a really empowering way to learn piano. And by the way, if you are a fan of our work at the London Contemporary School of Piano, do head on over to our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, to get our free resources kit that accompany these videos. So let's compose some music together in the style of Einaudi. So the first thing we need is a chord progression. And the chord progression we hear in so much of this music is chords 1, chord 5, chord 6, and chord 4. The same chord progression that's used in a lot of pop music. It's a pop music progression. So this is really pop music on the piano. So now we just need to find a way to arrange it and turn it into a composition. And I'm going to show you a couple of shapes that you can use in the left hand to compose these chord progressions and put these chord progressions together. And if you head on over to our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, in our resources kit, there is a lead sheet of all of these chords in 1, 5, 6, 4, written in every single key and scale, so you can start putting your own templates together, which is quite exciting. So what we're going to do in the left hand, I'm not going to play the chord like this, because the likes of Einaudi would never do that. It's just too muddy to do that in the bass. Instead, we get the octave and the fifth interval, and we get a nice open sound, and we can create a shape and a pattern like this. And this is how I'm representing my C major chord. It might not be the full chord, but it's an outline of the chord that works really well in the left hand. So if I play a C, G, A minor to F progression, I can maintain that shape. And I get this. So now we've built a bass line, or a left hand. So what are we going to do in the right hand? We have different options. The first thing we can do is we can just spin around the chords in arpeggios. C major, G major, A minor, and F major. But I could also use inversions. So it's a little bit closer, or a bit higher. Inversions are useful to get different textures out of the piano and to place the chord in different places. I quite like it up here. It's not going to get in the way of my left hand. So that works quite well. I can arpeggiate it or break up the chords. See, this music is a formula. It's very formulaic. And you could learn to compose in this style yourself rather than just being a slave to the score and a slave to the composer. You can actually empower yourself to create similar musical ideas yourself, because the piano here is the real superstar. There's no such thing as a piano superstar, by the way. The superstar is the piano. I mean, that's why I'm here at a piano factory, one of the best piano manufacturers in the world, Blüthner, here in Leipzig, Germany, because the piano is the superstar. The pianist, we're just here to respect and enjoy the instrument. And look at that, it just works so well. I mean, could make tons of hit pieces out of that, and it's already happened. So there's already tons of hit pieces out of that. And it's just a really simple formula that I'm following. I'm sort of just milking the goodness out of the piano. I haven't even gone to another scale. So before I go to some other scales, because we should do this in some other scales, we shouldn't just be in C major, we can make up melodies from the scale, but we just want to grab a couple of notes from the scale. Chords, melody, works really well. So before we put this into another key, I'm going to give you a nice challenge. It gets a bit bland if it's just fifth and octave intervals in the left hand. Might be nice to add a few tenth intervals. Now, a tenth interval might seem like a stretch. That's a tenth interval, by the way, because from the C to the E. Now, that might be too much of a stretch for some of you, but because we're arpeggiating, I don't have to play it at the same time. Now, that tenth interval, you can hear it's just got more dimension to it than the flatness of the octave. Even if I just add 1/10, maybe I'll just put it on the last chord. So all of the rest are octaves. Now just on this next chord, I'll make it a 10th. It works quite well. Okay, put this in another key now. What about the key of E flat major? Let's just venture away from the key of C major. So chords 1, 5, 6, 4 are chords E flat major, B flat major, C minor, and A flat major. Let's bring the shape into the left hand now. And chords in the right hand. So that's a good starting point. But we can also make some alterations to the chord progression. So the chord progression is 1, 5, 6, 4. Well, there's also a very, very popular chord progression that's also used that is actually exactly the same. So I hear a lot of these pieces and it'd be like, oh, is it different? Not really. And it's almost just like a different starting point of the same thing. So instead of going 1, 5, 6, 4, instead I go 6, 4, 1, 5. And it's got more of a minor center to it, this one. 6, 4, 1, 5. 6, 4, 1, 5. Now I'll put the left hand in there. The broken chords in the right hand. It's really nice just to pick 2 notes from the scale to create tension against that chord progression in the left hand. Back to the chords. And you can try this in many different keys. That's why you should head on over to our website, contemporaryschoolofpiano.com, to get your free resources kit which accompany these videos. Because you can get a crib sheet of the 1, 5, 6, 4 progression in every single key, so you can practice this everywhere. And you can compose pieces and become a piano star of your own. So what are you waiting for?